लेके
Good afternoon.
जाना।
Hmm? Yes, someone is saying something.
गान गा रहे थे।
Kun ba gan gaya sa? So your first sem result is out. Only a few students got back. I guess 2 students are still confused how they got back. Okay, about the recheck thing, I want to say one thing. Since it's an online exam, there is no provision for your recheck. So tomorrow we will see another thing, part of function, which is a recursive function. Let me share my screen. So let me see. You can see the whiteboard, right? Recursion. Anyone wants to tell what is recursion? Any idea? What is recursion? Any idea what is recursion? Recursion means when any function calls itself is the recursive function. Recursion is nothing but a function. When we call it a recursive function, when a function calls itself. Okay, if any function calls itself, it is a recursive function. Okay, and such function calls are called recursive calls. So one function will call itself inside its own function. Okay, so recursion involves several numbers of recursive calls. So one function just can call itself many times. Okay, several numbers of recursive calls are involved. Okay, but always remember to impose a termination condition. You always have to provide a termination condition to get out of your recursive call. Okay, recursion is like normally short to write, easier to write, but it's difficult to understand a bit. Okay, so you cannot apply recursion in all the programs. Okay, only some places you can use it basically for searching, sorting, traversing, this kind of problems. You can use recursion. Otherwise, it's a bit tricky to understand recursion. Okay, so basically just the function which will call itself. Okay, let's see the program. Just some of the numbers, okay, using recursion. As I told you earlier, one program you can just write in any ways. It's up to you what type or what variety you want to use. Okay, so example we will see some of numbers. Okay, so first is simply include. We saw some of numbers using function earlier. So now we will see sum of numbers with the help of recursive function. So I'll just use the declaration part here. Int sum int n. What is this? What is this? Function call, definition, declaration. What is this? Anyone? Anyone? What is this part? What is this part? Function declaration. Yes, correct. It's your function declaration. So two variables, number and result. Just normal thing. Number. So we have declared a function which return type is int, and I have passed an argument which is of integer type, and return type is also int type, and the name of the function is the sum. So here result, I am calling the function. Okay, I am calling the function sum here with the argument number. Okay, I just took number here. Okay, this is your function call. Since in the declarative part, I already mentioned that whenever means this sum function is going to take one argument. So whenever you will call, it will just call with a particular argument. So it is actual or formal argument. Number is actual or formal. Let me know this too. Anyone? Number is the actual parameter or formal parameter.
Ma'am, actual.
Yes, correct. The arguments inside your call, function call is the actual parameter. So after that, now we need to define the function. We have declared it earlier. So int sum int n. Okay, this is our function definition. So here I'm just putting a condition. If n not equal to 0 means this is your termination condition, is the condition when your recursive function should be terminated. So the process will continue until your n will not equal to 0. So the moment value of n will be 0, it will stop. Okay, now here I'm writing return n plus sum n minus 1. Okay, so this is your recursive call. The function sum is calling itself again. Okay, this portion, this sum is your recursive call. So we have a function sum. Then inside that sum function, I'm calling this sum function again with the argument. And this time argument is n minus 1. Okay, then else return n. Okay, so what's happening? Sum. So we will find the sum how the stopping condition is until it becomes 0. And if it is not 0, what it will do? It will just return this value n plus sum n minus 1. Okay, it's more like n plus sum. Okay, but in sum, it's just calling itself again. Sum. Okay, recursive call. N plus sum n minus 1, else when n value of n will be 0, it will just return n. Okay, this is your recursive call. Whenever a function calls itself inside a function, then it is a recursive call. So for example, suppose you input the value 3 here. Okay, you entered 3 here. That means what? Your sum is like the result is some number. Okay, number, whatever number you put here. So how it will work? This is the main function, right? Result equal to some number. Okay, inside your int function. This is the main function which will do the summation, right? So in the definition part, what's happening? Int sum in n, right? So just think, you have passed the value 3 here. That means you want to find the summation of 3. Okay. So what's the normal answer? 3 plus 3? 3 plus 3? 3 plus 3 is 6, right? 3 sum of numbers. So you provided the argument sum of 3. So answer should be 6. Okay. So how recursion will work? See, inside your in sum function, you provided this line return n plus sum n minus 1, right? That means just consider that part. Return n plus sum n minus 1, correct? So when sum is 3, this value will pass down here, right? This value is passed down here. That means it is trying to find sum of 3. So here the value will be 3, right? Here 3, and it will be sum 3 minus 1 will be 2, correct? N minus 1. N minus 1 means here the argument is n minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2 here. Okay. Then this part is, it's calling its own function again, correct? That means it will pass back to this value again. Okay. This value again means what? Next time you will call the same function again. It's calling the same function again in sum in n. Okay. Now this value is passed here, right? To n minus 1. It's calling itself. So now the value of int n is here is 2. So again return n plus sum minus n minus 1. That means this value is 1, then n minus 1 is value is 1. Correct? The condition is not satisfied yet because remember condition when it will stop, when n will be 0. Okay? So it's not done yet. So it will call itself again. Then again it will try the same thing in sum int n. This one value will be passed to here now. That means value is 1 here. Okay. Then same return n plus sum n minus 1. That means this is 1 and this is 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay. So it will pass. Again it's calling for the same function. In sum in n. Now this value is 0 here. Okay. So the moment it becomes 0, it is satisfying the condition this. This process will continue when? Till when? Till n is not become 0. Okay. So the moment value of n becomes 0 here, it will just return n. Now the return for n will done. So return n means what? 0. It will return 0 here. Correct? It will return 0. Okay. That means here the value is 1 plus 0. Okay. The value will be 1. Okay. Then it will return the value here. That means 2 plus sum of 1 is 1. Okay. Sum of 1 is 1. So it returned the value 1 here. Okay. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Okay. So this 3 is returned to here. That means sum of 2 is the value 3. So 3 plus 3, 6 is the answer. So this value 6 is returned here. Result is 6. Okay. So as I mentioned, it is a bit complicated to understand, but once you know the concept, it's kind of easy. Therefore, in most cases, we just don't use recursion. It's nothing like that. It's modular. It makes things faster, but in all programs, you cannot use recursion. It's mainly used for sorting, searching, and traversing. Traversing means traversing graphs. Okay. Understood the program? So this is the function, and in sum is a function which is calling itself. That means it's a recursion function. Okay, so how it's working? So you pass any value here. It can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, anything. Okay, so for the simplicity, I just pass the value 3 here. You can also pass 2. Okay, so when you pass the value 3, it's calling itself some number. That means the control is passed to the main function for the sum. Okay. So here it's like int of 3. Okay. Sum of 3. Then it's returning n plus sum n minus 1. That means this value is 3 and it is calling the function sum of 2. Okay. Sum of 2 means again it's calling itself. Then again the same thing will occur, same function. Now the sum is 2 and it's again 2 plus 1. Sum of 1. So condition is still satisfying. It will call again sum of 1. Okay, then again 1 plus sum of n minus 1, now value is 0. Okay, then it will again call itself in sum in n. Now we are just finding sum of 0. Okay, so now value of n is equal to 0. That means it reached the stopping condition. Okay, so moment it stopped the condition, it will return the values one by one again in the recursive fashion. The fashion you call the function, call the recursive function same way, it will just pass the value. So in one phase you are just passing the value by one. Okay, so when it meet the stopping criteria, it start returning the values level by level. It's not like it will directly go back. It will return again level by level. Okay, and finally we get the main result. Okay, so here 0, that means sum of 0, this part answer is 1. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, so this will be returned back to the previous sum of 2. That means 2 plus the answer for sum of 1 is 1. So total return is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so next 3 is again passed back here. So sum of 2 is 3. So 3 plus 3, that means 3 sum of 3 is 3. Sum of 2 is 3. So its answer is 6. So finally, it will send the value back to the result. Sum of 3 is equal to 6. Okay. Just see it for a while. So in normal function call, it's just one function call. We just provide different function definition. There are different subproblems. For every subproblem, we create functions and we call one function at a time. But in recursion, one function can call itself again. Therefore, it's a recursive function. Just see for a while and let me know if you understood or not. বুজি পাইছা সবে? So recursive function basically divide your one task into multiple subtasks. So I mentioned earlier, it involves multiple numbers of recursive call. And after the termination condition is satisfied, recursion stops and the final result is returned from your function. So the case at which function does not recur is called your base case. Okay. And when your instances keep calling the function itself to perform a subtask, it is a recursive case. So every time you call a recursive function, it always creates a new copy of the method in the memory. So once some data is returned by the method, the copy is removed from the memory. And since all variables and other stuff declared inside the main function, they mainly store in a stack. Okay, recursive call. If you use recursive call, normally they use a stack. Okay, stack means it's a data structure where you organize something in this fashion. Okay, stack means you can think about the inverted array. Your array looks like this. Okay, so stack looks like this, inverted or vertical array. So in stack is a data structure. You will get to learn about stack in next semester. I just want to say one thing. How you store things. Suppose you are entering one item, it will store here. You are entering second item, it will enter here. You are entering third item, you will enter here. Okay. So 3 is the last element you entered in your stack. Okay. Now, if you want to delete something from the stack, so first element you will delete is the number 3. Okay. Next, 2 will be on the top. The next item deleted will be 2. Okay. Then next item will be deleted is 1. Okay. You can just think about your stack of plates. Okay. Whenever you stack your plates or your CD drives, you can just remember about your CD holder, uh, which were the old CD holders look like this one. You just keep piling your CDs one by one like this. Okay. So in order to get the last CD, you have to take out all the CDs first. Okay. So this is nothing but the stack. Okay. It's a data structure to organize your data in the memory. Okay. So in recursion, since it keeps the copy of each intermediate recursive call, it just stores the value in a stack. So a separate stack is maintained at each recursive call. Once the value is returned from the corresponding function, the stack just gets destroyed. So since recursion involves so many complexity in resolving and tracking the value at each recursive call, therefore we always maintain a stack and track the variables and the values defined in the stack. Okay. It's easy to use recursion, but to keep track of all these sub-recursive calls, the value passing by value, that step is easier. Which number is going first and which number is going last, the thing is easier to maintain in a stack. Okay, clear everyone? Recursion. বুজি পাইছা সবে?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay. So next topic I want to tell is the storage class. Okay, before storage class, you should know about local and global variable. I guess I already told you guys about local and global variable. Anyone wants to tell again? Local and global variable. Anyone? What is
What?
local and what is local
Ma'am,
variable? Huh? What?
it is local is declared inside a function, whereas global is declared outside the function.
Yes, very good. Local variable means whatever variable you declare inside the function, that is your local variable. Okay, and if you declare anything outside your function, means outside your main function or any function, it is global variable. So the value for global variable will remain same for your entire program. You can use that value in any place of your program. But local variable, it's more like you can just inside that particular function only. Okay. For example, like you just define a variable a. So a is your global value. Okay. Then if you say a equal to 10, the value of a will be 10 in your entire program. Then suppose you start your main function in main, then you declare some variables like in b and c, then this is your local variable. Okay, you can use these variables b and c, and these values are variable inside the main function only. So if here b equal to 5 and c equal to 2, then these values are valid inside this main function only. Okay, suppose even if you have different function after that, you cannot use this b and c because b and c is valid only inside in main. Okay, so if there's another part of your program, you can use the global variable. It is valid like in all the places. Okay. Okay, I guess this meeting is going to end in 5 minutes. So next part, the storage class, I'll teach in next class. That is tomorrow. Okay, let me take your attendance. 26 students. Switch on your videos. Okay, no problem, Pranjal. Twenty-six students. So I hope recursion is clear to everyone. য'তে ক্লাছ নকৰা খালি ক্লাছত ধ্যানটো থাকিলে হ'ল আচ্ছা ওপৰত গৈ বোলে ইফালে সিফালে চাই আছা and about your sessional exam second sessional exam we will start maybe in second or third week. I know some of the faculties already
Ma'am,
started
17 June বলে শুনিছো ma'am, 17 June.
17 June তোমাৰ final exam হয় for final semester batch. Okay, sessional exam intermediate semo এতিয়ালৈ date decide হোৱা নাই কিছুমান faculty they already started doing it because they are following academic calendar. But since last time your first sessional exam was a bit late, so we thought it's kind of unfair for you guys to give your second sessional immediately after first sessional. So we want to wait for another 1 to 2 weeks before starting the second session. Okay.
Ma'am,
So first
second
session.
semester
Ah,
July নহয় নেকি?
হ'ব July তে হ'ব. July most probably 17 July মানত exam start হ'ব.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, তোমালোকৰ last class 15 July লৈ আছে.
মানে মেম সেকেন্ড সেমিস্টাৰৰ এক্সাম টো ফাইনেল টো হেৰি হ'ব মেম 17 জুলাইত হ'ব এন্ড সিজন এতিয়ালৈকে পোৱা নাই ন মেম
না 7 এতিয়া তোমালোকৰ দেৰি আছে একমাহ